Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here, and we're back with our weekly recap of all things Injustice. This is for the week of September 3rd, 2020. The current character challenge is Earth 2 Solomon Grundy, and that is a 1-week repeat. The required characters for that are Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and Sinestro, who are silver, bronze, and bronze respectively if you're looking at the lowest tier you can get them, which is great for any newer players. His passive is Death and Decay, which is when Solomon Grundy is in combat, his death aura does a damage over time to the enemy. Chance to decay a piece of gear for the whole match on tag-in, and opponents gain power twice as slow when they fight Solomon Grundy or any of his Earth 2 teammates. He has 1100 attack, not 11,000, that would be
really good.
obscene, and 1300 health. He was last available in January of 2020, so he's back pretty recent.
Okay, he's been around for more than a year. I don't know why it just occurred to me now. His passive is Death and Decay, which is 2 things. His passive is actually 3 things. It's Death and Decay and Delay, which is less power gain, right?
That's fun.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so his passive is amazing. What keeps him from being great is how slow he is, just like all the Solomon Grundys. Mm-hmm. He's got the 3 passive abilities, like I just mentioned. The damage over time is nice. It's never fight changing. The amount is just too small.
Yeah.
The chance to disable 1 piece of gear for the whole fight compared to, Claw of Horus, which is until tag out, Dawn of Justice Superman for 1 minute. It really can shift the entire fight. But the power dampening is what you can really build a team around.
Yeah.
And we've got a couple of MP videos highlighting Earth 2 Solomon Grundy. In fact, one was just a couple of days ago. And the most interesting part to me is always how, for Earth 2 characters and all these passives that are socially synergistic, instead of having a full Earth 2 team, which seems like the obvious thing, the best thing is actually having 2 Earth 2 teammates and then having Killer Frost as the third one to really lean into the power dampening.
Yeah.
You're pretty much protected against everything except for Tantu Totem and Killing Joke Joker. Mm-hmm. So it's a pretty spectacular team. Even though it's a defensive ability, I said this in the video, the fact that it is so good and you leave 9 slots open for offensive abilities, it makes it like a really good team.
Yeah, and it's sort of the Solomon Grundy thing. It's his whole shtick almost whenever he's part of a team, where he's somebody who's useful to have on the team for all the other members of the team, and you almost don't need to play with him, and if you do, you want to use him as a tank, and his passive is perfectly set up for that, in the same way like Red Sun is.
Although, that's how we originally played it, and the newest sort of iteration of the Solomon Grundy team, where he's a special specialist, works really great, because unlike the newer guys, where they have really high damage special 2s, he's got a high damage special 2, but it can finish more than one character. Mm. So, potentially, if the team's weak enough, you could actually finish all 3 with just 1 special 2.
But he's definitely good for delays, too, separate from that. This week's multiplayer award is Blackest Night Superman, and his passive is Necron's Champion. Oh, sorry, what?
Yeah, it is. It's Necron's. It's one of those passives that has its own title.
I read it, and I was confused. I was like, there must be a mistake here, but I forgot about his weird passive. It's called Necron's Champion, colon, for the dead will rise, and then another colon. So, Superman's special attacks do necrotic damage to the opponent, causing wounds that can't heal, and Blackest Night characters are immune to unblockables and gain health for every KO'd opponent. He has 1375 attack and 1425 health. He was last available in February of 2020, so we are still following that larger loop that now includes everything after the addition of Tantu Totem, Claw of Horus, and Necron's Scythe, after a long drought of them not being available. And if the pattern holds, what we should be looking at next week is the Cloak of Destiny.
Right. First part of his passive, where the necrotic damage means that you can't... You're working with a smaller health pool when the other character is healing. It sounds better. It's one of those passives that sounds better than it actually is.
And it looks pretty cool, too.
Yeah, because that little purple, right?
Yeah.
On the health bar. But in practice, it doesn't really make much of a difference. The amount of necrotic damage is never game-changing. It just takes too long to build up enough. Even if you're facing someone who heals, you're doing a huge amount of damage to generate that, so they're knocked out. Like, it's just not useful.
Things that counter healing tend to only be good if they just straight cut their healing period always, and not like, you have to do something specific to get there.
Right. Second part, though, is really good. Immunity Unblockables. He's a good counter to the god of unblockables, which is Ares, and Ares is Godsmack, which is not only unblockable. It's
like a tongue twister.
It is. It's because I want to say Gob. It's not only unblockable by itself, but also will cause you to normally be unable to block after he does his Godsmack if you survive it.
It's pronounced Job.
Job. I got that. I saw what you did there.
Yeah.
It also lets you block against most stuns on Taggin. So we're talking about Luchador Bane, Cloak of Destiny, which is potentially coming up next week, and LexCorp Gauntlets, all of which have Taggin stun. And it also helps against unblockable specials like Arkham Knight back rolls, Arkham Harley Quinn, when she gives her Arkham teammates unblockable special 2, Killer Frost, who has the tail end on her special 2, all those. But don't get too complacent, because it doesn't work on the Earth 2 stun, which is unusual, because the Earth 2 stun is one of the few stuns that doesn't trigger any damage, not even the 1 point. So that means the Earth 2 stun not only works against the Blackest Night team, it also works against Astro Harness. Just a little bit of trivia there.
So there we go. Moving on, in the store, we have the Sorcery Pack for $26.99 Canadian, which comes with Raven, Kondak Black Adam, and Zatanna, which, I wouldn't call it a good deal, but it's definitely a better deal than a lot of what you normally get, right?
Yeah, I guess that's faint praise when you have to say, well, it's not a bad deal.
Yeah. I don't love it, but if you're buying something, right? Yeah. And we also have the Static Challenge Pack for 200,000 credits. So that's, 50,000 credits more compared to the regular challenge pack, and it gives you a 6.16% chance for static instead of the normal 2.86%. So it's maybe included next week's challenge, probably what next week's challenge is, but not for sure.
Yeah,
and it's a crappy deal. It's really bad.
Yeah, even though there's not much to spend power credits on, the extra 50,000. We've said before. I think the best idea that I want to take credit for it, but I'm sure you came up with it. Is that that pack should give you a chance at getting an extra character, the same way the 800 Nth Metal Pack gives you a chance of getting 2 copies of it.
Yeah,
because you're basically, for the price of 3 of these special packs, you could get 4 of the regular challenge packs, and you still have about half the chance of getting static. Typically, what it does is it takes away your chance from getting another good challenge character, which if you don't want, you could sell back anyway.
Yeah, so there should just be a chance that you get a bonus character, and that character is always static.
Right.
And that would be a good deal, but as is, it sort of sucks.
Yeah.
In our Survivor, we have the League of Assassins gear set until the 9th of September 2020. Phantom Zone is back for 2 weeks. Fight 62 is still broken, and last weekend's breakthrough was Deadshot, Wonder Woman, and Static.
Exactly as we expected. So based on the continuing schedule, which hasn't failed us yet, the coming weekend will be Zatanna, Flash, and Solomon Grundy, which is just in time for this week's challenge, because that's more than enough time to get him and then start breaking him through tomorrow. I guess only if you've already got him, because you'd have to actually grind him up to level 50, which is not that hard, actually.
Yeah.
Days enough.
That's fair.
There's a link in the description to Reddit thread from Devlin16 that goes over the complete breakthrough cycle. And that's the news. Moving on to current glitches. Spoiler alert, there's nothing new this week, but it's a reminder that every working glitch is explained in a video as part of the playlist that you can reach by clicking the eye in the top right corner of this video. We are Android only, so we can only confirm these glitches for Android, but we'll also mention some glitches that have been brought to our attention that have been useful for iOS.
Yeah. Not knowing exactly what we're talking about has never stopped us before.
This is true.
Yeah.
We do not lack for confidence.
So starting off with the significant not working glitches, because those are harder to figure out, there is currently no working glitch for credits that we will endorse. So is one that we don't tell people how to do or talk about because we don't want people trying it for themselves. And then coming to us if they run into any issues. We talk about it more in Season 6, Episode 9 of our P&Q and CNA&T, and we talk about it in other weekly recaps. We're not going to tell you how to do it, so we can pretty much just move on. There's also nothing to get repeated past multiplayer season rewards. There's nothing that's exploitable in a good way to get early multiplayer season rewards. And there is nothing to get through the Phantom Zone quickly, although there are strategies, there's no glitches.
And we've demonstrated those a few times, so we've got a few videos, and I've got a few ideas also of talking about and demonstrating why certain tasks are much easier than others and much faster. And the free energy without having to watch the video glitch is gone. It's a funny sort of way to put it because there used to be a button that lets you get free energy by watching a video, and then you could bypass the video. Well, we can't bypass it because there's no button. And that brings us to the working glitches. So again, it's in the playlist. The glitch to let you, and those all explain it. They're a tutorial. They explain sort of what to watch out for, how you can screw it up, and yeah, really, it's pretty straightforward. So the glitch to let you play Phantom Zone repeatedly is still working. Challenge reset method that requires Google Play Cloud Save is also still working, confirmed on the current Earth 2 Solomon Grundy challenge. Those two glitches are both the same thing, so it's really important that you know that when you're doing one, you're also doing the other. When you reset the progress in one, you're also resetting the progress in the other. Be careful, because the Phantom Zone takes a long time to play through, and the last thing you want to do is put in all the work
and then not get the reward. Yeah, and we mentioned earlier that we talk about glitches for iOS. The challenge reset, there is a version of it that apparently works on iOS. So we've cut and pasted a comment from viewer Jonathan Yang on how to reset the challenge on an iOS device. We've had only positive feedback on that so far, and it's, sort of spread out. But this is a good time to take that opportunity. If you try it and it works, and you're listening to this right now, come back and leave a comment. Just so that we have more positive feedback if anybody's trying it. Or leave a comment if it doesn't work too, so that we have a better sense of it.
Breakthrough glitch to let you play it repeatedly still working. The airplane mode / refund glitch still working. Good for packs with random drops and last laugh tickets. It does not work for us in Android in the Phantom Zone for the last crystal. We can get into discussion there about how some people are saying that it does. It doesn't for us, but it does apparently, based on comments, work for iOS users.
Time shifting still works in Android for unlimited survivor play and energy recharges. As always, return your countdown clock back to normal before you finish up messing around and start sort of playing normally again. And last but not least, in between the not working and working glitches, we have a promotion glitch where you can promote characters that are still locked. It has not had the right conditions since update 2.14, which was, I don't even know how long ago at this point. So it's still not testable, still not usable. Probably never will be, but it has never been tested and failed, so we're keeping it in on a technicality. I was gonna joke about padding the runtime, but our runtime always goes longer than it needs to anyway, so it's not accurate. We don't have any issue talking too long. We have an issue stopping.
Yes, true.
So, and to finish up, we would like to say a huge thank you to some people who are supporting us on Patreon. I guess we almost never do it. We say thank you to people. We should plug our Patreon maybe every once in a while too. If you want to support us on Patreon, patreon.com/BDCKR, or look up BDCKR Patreon, or just click a link in the description, or is everywhere. You can find it if you really want to. If you want to give us money,
we won't say no.
Yeah, I don't expect that people want to give us money, but people keep changing my mind. People keep proving me wrong. So if you want to...
And that was triggered by a newest addition to the roster of people who are supporting us.
Yeah, so if you want to delight and confuse us and support us at the same time, you can do all three of those in one move.
So a big thank you to Console Peasant and Edwoon at the top tier last word, Mohammed Albshaiti at the Your Message Here tier, Shawn Farrell, Daniel Simonson, Aaron Maule, Michael DeVries, Brandon C., Irvin Ruiz, and welcome to the club, Edward Green. It's either Green P, Green EP, Green Ep. I don't know. Please let us know so we don't keep on butchering your name. Also supporting us on the credited level. And Chris Wolff, Scarlet, Dani, Awesomegamer 2-for-1, Pavu RS, and Gavin, Mallott at the gratitude level.
Yeah, so thank you so much for all your support, and thanks so much to all of you for watching. We'll see you next time. Komoda!